Hey there, it's Scott Fox with an expert website review for my friend Nate and his new website that you can see right here, kitchenknifeguru.com. We're going to talk about kitchenknifeguru.com. We're going to talk about its usability, about its product strategy, its advertising strategy. That's one of Nate's big questions, as well as its overall layout and look and feel, and help Nate try to figure out, well, how to make some money with this beautiful new website he's built. Nate is a long-term member of Click Millionaires. In fact, he's a repeat featured member award winner, so I'm happy to do this review for him for free, and I hope that if you're interested in this kind of review, you'll head over to expertwebsitereviews.com too. All right, so let's look here at kitchenknifeguru.com. What a beautiful site, Nate. Very nice work. There have been a lot of great discussion and comments already in the clickmillionaires.com forum, and you've gotten a lot of advice, and you've even touched up the site a bit since we first started talking about doing this review for you, and it looks great, my friend. I know you spent a long time. It's been a long road to get you to this place, and honestly, I think the investment of your time was worth it. I don't think that anybody who visited this site would have any question at all about your credibility, your expertise in this area, or the value of the content that you've produced. Clearly, you've created a first-class resource for people interested in knowing how to sharpen their kitchen knives. So congratulations, seriously. That's hard to do, and especially as your first try, it's very impressive. And not just the content, but the look and feel, too. I mean, I know you have a design background, of course, and you've really put that to work here. And the site really looks nice. It really does look nice. You've got a nice logo. The header here is classy and informative. The layout, plenty of white space. I mean, lots of stuff here that is really, really right, okay? So I think you've done a really nice job. But of course, the job of these videos is to figure out what else could you do even better, and God forbid that you might be doing something wrong. And I'll have to say, I didn't find anything wrong, per se. Often, as you know, with these videos when I go through them, I find, you know, things sticking out over here and over there, and lots of big mistakes. But I don't see any here. You've clearly been paying attention to all our discussions and my podcast and all that stuff at clickmillionaires.com, and this is looking really good. So what can we do to improve this and accelerate your revenue strategy? That's really why we do this. So Nate, here's what I would think about, and I want to talk through the questions and concerns that you expressed in the clickmillionaires.com forum, as well as the ones that you sent in to me directly. So let's see. Let's start at the top. I guess, well, first of all, I like the black on white with the orange accent. Personally, it looks nice, but also it's good. It's a high contrast and fairly easy to read. I would have a little bit of concern about these. I wonder if these couldn't be bigger. My guess is your target audience for this is going to be people who are cooking enthusiasts who have time to cook and money to buy good knives and time to pursue not just the cooking but the sharpening of knives. You're talking about older, affluent people. I think bumping up their font size here could not hurt you. You've got the space. Why don't you make the menus a little bigger? I might increase the contrast as well. This dark gray on light gray, not the highest ranking in terms of usability for people with limited eyesight. It's also just generally nice for people to make it easier to read. So that's a fairly small point, but starting at the top is where we usually do. I'm not sure what this button is up here. I don't want to mess with it right now. I might screw up the recording, but it looks like that's a search box. It very dimly says search there. Yeah. So I don't know if that's important or not. If you think there's so much content that people need to search, then I would bump it up and make it more obvious. It looks like a watermark rather than a real search box. If it's a search box that you want people to use, I'd pump it up. Over here, you've got one of these cool peel-away ads. It's not going to show entirely in the video, but this is a great way to get people to subscribe. It says subscribe via RSS. That's very techy, Nate. I would replace that with subscribe via email. Most people don't know what RSS is, and they don't care. I would hook that up to email, and if you don't know how to do that easily, I can point it out to you in the clickmillionaires.com forum. It's actually quite simple, and that would improve your subscriptions, I think. Moving down the page, this video prompt is cute, but my first question was, well, why don't we see the video? Why not put the actual video here? Or if you don't want to embed the actual video here for whatever technical reason there might be, how about just a JPEG of the video, like a screenshot of you and your face right there? And that's one of my big things. As you know in the forum, I said what's missing from the site, and several of our clickmillionaires.com members had good ideas about what was missing. But one of my big ones is, I think Tony said it, where's the picture of the guru himself? And I think there is one down at the bottom here. Yeah, you're down there. That looks almost like a screen capture, the way you've embedded it in a little frame there. Why not do that right at the top? Because that's one of the things that's missing here. This is so slick that it looks like a catalog uh, like so slick. It doesn't have you've sharpened, I guess is the word, the personality almost right out of it. And you're a nice guy. If you go to the About Us page, you're here, who is Kitchen Knife Guru, and there's a real nice casual shot of you in your kitchen. You know, that's friendly. That's a guy who looks like he knows his way around the kitchen and who I'd want to do business with, right? That photo on the homepage would be great. And I think you get 2 for 1 if you don't actually do the photo, but putting a still of the video here would be great. And it would demonstrate your expertise at the honing right there, right? You kind of get 3 for 1 if you were to do that. Next complaint I have, because again, I'm complaining, and that's what you asked me to do. I'm very impressed with the site, so take all this with a grain of salt. This free ebook, this is a big deal. Getting people on your email list is how you're going to make money, especially since you're in sort of a pre-revenue startup stage with this, and you're not entirely sure what your best avenues are for monetization. You've got to capture the email addresses. So this needs a graphic. I think Kat said that in the forum. You need to make this free ebook. You pumped it up, that's good, but you need a picture of it. Give me a little graphic. You know a designer, or find somebody on Fiverr or Elance to make a fake cover of a graphic. Just take your logo here and put it in an 8.5 by 11 sort of aspect ratio document and make it look like a PDF. You've got to draw the eyes to that and get people to fill this out. This is your whole reason for existence, quite honestly. And I will get into the strategic point that I think you're missing here that this leads to. Also, I like the idea in the forum from Tony and Kat and who else, Dave or somebody else. I think a giveaway is a good idea. It doesn't have to be a daily giveaway of $1,000, but how about a something? I don't know, a free, like you said earlier, you've got a 20-page ebook and you've got the shorter ebook. I'd give the short ebook away and give away a free larger one once a week or once a month, whatever. Just the idea of a contest is more compelling than not having a contest. So I would do that. This block is actually, to me, more important than any of this stuff over here. So this is what I would focus on here. I would pump up the contrast in the background, maybe put in an arrow, you know, it says, over here, get the email, you know, that kind of stuff, even if you're not going to send out any emails, because of course you will, and we'll work on that together in the forum, but you've got to start it by building the list, and the sooner you start, the better. Okay, enough on that. Let's keep going. The big question you had to me and to everybody in the forum was, does the current layout and structure of the site strike the right balance of information versus commerce? And I think the answer is maybe. When I asked in this questionnaire, what's your #1 goal for site visitors? You said, to sell products to visitors while I educate and help them with their kitchen knife care problems. Now, I like that as a goal. The problem is this site doesn't reflect that, at least in my eyes. What this site does to me is the reverse. You said your first words were to sell products to visitors while I educate and help them. This site is excellent at educating and helping them. It's not so great at selling to them. So I think you're not reflecting your own stated goal here, and I think you know this, right? This is why you keep asking this question. Do the ads need to be bigger? Do there need to be more of them? How do I make money? Yes, yes, yes. The ads need to be bigger. There's no doubt about it. People in the forum are kind of dancing around it. Nate, if you want to make money with ads, they've got to be big and in your face. That's all there is to it. That's why when you watch TV, they stop the program and show the ads, right? You've got to get in people's faces. Now, you're doing the soft sell thing. I say this is one of the... Here's a backhanded compliment for you. This may be one of the best soft sell sites I've ever seen. It's beautiful. It's full of really helpful information, stuff like everybody has said in the forum. You know, I didn't even know I was interested in this stuff, and you made it interesting. Beautifully written copy, but it's all soft, 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 and then a little sell at the end. If you're in the business of educating and helping people, super, you're done. But I don't think you are, because you're in the business of educating and helping people, and you've got to pump it all up. You know, not 100%, it's here, but like 30% maybe, 40%. You're obviously uncomfortable with this, so 50% for you maybe. You've got to ask for the sale, all right? So here are some more practical suggestions about how to do that. On the home page, or anywhere really, I think there's a strategy that you want to adopt, especially actually on these interior pages. You have all these really nice articles with nice photos, and they go on and on and on. They're a little long, obviously, for the attention span of people on the internet. This is a long walk for a short visit, okay? The point of all this, I think, is down in here usually on this site, right? You've got these little red links hidden down at the bottom. And this one doesn't, I don't think that's even e-commerce at all, right? So, okay, reviews of 3 knife sharpening services. Okay, so maybe this has got some money in it. 3 top services. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, Seattle knife sharpening. Okay, so maybe this, I don't want to go through all this one by one, but that looks like a plain unaffiliated link. You're burying this, you know something about journalism, right? You're burying the lead. You're burying the lead so deep. I don't know how to give you money even if I want to. And I'm not trying to pick on you. It's a beautiful site, but you asked, right? I don't know how to send you money like, okay, and I'm the world's biggest knife sharpening fan. I've got $100,000 here. What do I do, right? You make me really hunt for the opportunity to give you money. So on the home page, I'd pump up the ads. Why not, you've got, this is the most important thing. And this looks like a buying guide, but the only really overt ad you have is here. That's too subtle, my friend. Why not make that one of these 3 blocks? I'd put it right here. Okay, people understand that you're trying to make some money here. It's not a dirty word, okay? If you've got 2 out of 3 of these are full of good content, you need the ad to be right here somewhere if you want people to click on it. That's all there is to it. Or you integrate it in up here, and you put Google ads up here, and you put them in almost the same font size and color as your actual menu, and then people click on them by accident. That's standard procedure on the internet. I know that's a little not so friendly, obviously to your users, but that's how you make money. You're being too subtle here. So yes, bigger ads somewhere, or how about a banner right here, or even right here? Okay, that's what you got to do to make some money here. You've got plenty of content. I don't think anybody's going to question your credibility and expertise. You've got to push it a little more. Now, all that, I'm pushing you kind of hard. I know you're going to be uncomfortable with that. Here's another strategy that I think might be more helpful to you. When I clicked on shop, I expected to see a store, because that's what shop means, right? I expected to see an Amazon style thing where here's a bunch of products. These are Nate's recommendations. So I think you need to do that. At least under the shop part, nobody clicks on shop unless they want to shop. You don't have to be so subtle under that pull down, okay? Make the shop a shop. Now, a lot of your stuff is affiliate links, right? So it's not like you're going to go out and set up your own store, like on Yahoo Stores or BigCommerce or something. Although if you had your own stuff, like if you took in the artisan level knives that Connie was talking about in the forum, maybe you do create your own actual shop. But you could at least put a list of your top recommendations with pictures and the link, right? I recommend this, this, and this. And then, I know you're not going to like this, but this is what you need to do. Buy here, buy here, buy here. That's what people expect when they go into the shop, and you're not doing that at all. So I think you should. Now, the in-between on those two, between the soft sell that's interrupted by blatant ads, and then the shopping area where it actually looks like a shop, is the rest of your site. And this is where I think you can make an easier improvement that, the shopping is kind of a bigger step. The ads is more of a redesign. Here's something you could do like starting this weekend. How about these ones where you actually get into some recommendations, like here with your honing steels here? Again, you're burying the lead. I clicked on shop, as you say in the breadcrumbs here. I'm in the shop, but again, there's no buy button in sight. No buy button in sight. What kind of shop is this? Not much of one. You need some buy buttons, or at least you need to make it easy. Again, for a short attention span audience, you're hiding the stuff down here. Here's the easy way. Put a link right at the top that says, my top recommendations, and have it what they call an anchor link that jumps to the lower part of the page. Not everybody's going to want to read your long explanations of everything. It's beautiful content, beautifully written, but a lot of people are going to be like, especially if they are on their second or third visit, they're going to have trouble even finding this stuff again. It's so buried, right? So on every one of these articles, I would go back, figure out what your recommendation is, okay? Here you've got all this, you've got a video, you've got all this stuff, beautiful. Look, it's all laid out. My gosh, you wrote a lot of stuff. This is, this is your free download. If this is what you're after, or your article in the shopping cycle, put it up at the top. A quick link, all right? Or a summary with the link to the call, with the call to action. People don't have to take action there. They can still scroll down and look at all this stuff. It's still valuable. But especially after a repeat visit, they don't need it all again. They're like, where's that thing he recommended? I can't find it. It should be right at the top, okay? And I think that would help you a lot in terms of thinking in terms of what's your call to action for each page and putting it at the top. Here's how I'd summarize it. Right now, your whole site is going A plus B plus C plus D equals E. E being your call to action and some sort of monetization strategy or conversion, like getting an email address. You're making this long thing, A plus B plus C plus D equals E. That's a correct equation. But you know what is just as correct? Is the reverse. E, because of A, B, C, and D. All right? That's what people are kind of looking for in the fast-paced world of the internet. And I think that you can do both and maintain your self-respect, ethics, and credibility by offering people, I'm Nate, I'm the guy, here's my recommendation. If you want to know why, read below. And then you can beat it to death. And then repeat it at the bottom, right? And hey, stick some ads in along the way. I wouldn't mind that either, but that might be too much for you. So you've clearly invested so much in this that you've got really good stuff. So all of this is just trying to do what you asked, which was how to balance information versus commerce. You're heavy on the information, very light on the commerce. And I'd like to see you make some money here because you put so much time into it. And it looks really nice, really nice job. Let's see, what else? So I think that's the summary of what I wanted to advise you. I don't have a lot of small tweaky suggestions for you because you've polished the site really nicely. I guess for search engine optimization, I would think a little more about the first words on each page. Other than not mashing is not a big keyword driver. If this page is really about, and you've got it here, how to hone or steal your kitchen knife, and then again, hone, steal, kitchen knife, you've got it. You repeat it here, couldn't hurt you, okay? So same thing. Is A plus B plus C equals D? SEO, you want to reverse it. How to hone your kitchen knife, colon. Other than not mashing our kitchen knives, I mean, you just reverse it, put it all up front again. I think that will help you, and it'll help your SEO as well. And you've got good SEO in your URLs, obviously. You figure that stuff out. I really like the About Us. I thought you've got a little too much of this stuff. Disclosure, copyrights, image privacy, terms and conditions, sitemap. This doesn't deserve all this major airspace. I would put it down as a link in the footers. That's fine. Nobody really cares. Of course, you need to do it, including the sitemap, but it doesn't need to be in your main menu. Who is Kitchen Knife Guru? I would bring this out. Your personality, your smiling face here, you're a nice looking guy, you're friendly, you've got the knives. I mean, this put a little more personality back into it. You've done a really nice job, but so nice that it almost looks like a Williams-Sonoma catalog or something. These great stock, I presume they're stock photos. You know, they're all very nice, but they're kind of impersonal, at least visually. I didn't have time to read everything word for word, but the more you can mix in your own stories and make it interesting, the better. And I think the follow-up for you, if all that makes sense layout-wise, the next step for you, oh, that's another one, by the way. Let's go back to that page. This ebook and the email prompt, it needs to be on every page, not just the home page. You're going to realize that once this gets out there and gets indexed, people don't just arrive at the home page. At least 40% of your traffic is going to come in from all sorts of odd angles as the search engines pick this up, and hopefully as people share your content, and they're going to come from all sorts of places. So I would think about having that little video JPEG of your face here, and then the ebook sign up right here on every page, because those are not immediate money makers, as this ad hopefully will be, but they're immediate credibility builders, and those conversions into email subscriptions are your #1 pursuit here, actually, even more than the money. Because once you get the emails, you can start setting up an email marketing campaign. You're obviously good at the content. You would have an amazing blog and or series of autoresponder emails if you just took all this content and chopped it into short email series, and you could have stuff for months, years even, to use once you build up the email list and keeping people in touch with you, and then figuring out the monetization along the way. So I hope that's helpful, Nate. Beautiful site, very nice job. I hope the strategies I'm suggesting don't scare you too much. We've talked about in the clickmillionaires.com forum about how to monetize this, and now I think you're ready. This PDF, by the way, this is another nice thing that you could give away. You know, this could be something additional. If you're looking for an ebook thing, if you don't want to offer a contest, you could say, sign up right now, and right away you'll get my Honing Steel Cheat Sheet PDF download. And that's like, oh, I get something right away. I'm not just on some amorphous, maybe someday I'll get an email or a spam from this guy. I actually get something that I want right now. So that would be a nice little bonus as well. In addition to, or instead of even your ebook, if you want to save the ebook to sell as a downloadable product, which is certainly a valid idea if you've got a beautiful 20-page ebook like you do. Okay, so that's it for this expert website review. I'm Scott Fox from clickmillionaires.com and expertwebsitereviews.com. Congratulations to our friend Nate, the kitchen knife guru. You've worked long and hard on this site, and it looks great. Congratulations, Nate. I hope that these suggestions are helpful to you. Hey, and if you're seeing this video later on YouTube or somewhere else, like ClickMillionaires or ScottFox.com, and you'd like a review like this, well, head over to expertwebsitereviews.com, and I'll do one for you too. Thanks for watching.